Hey everybody, David here, and today I'm going to do my list of the superhero movies of 2017, worst to best. Because now that I got to see Justice League, I can rank all 8 of these superhero movies in the order that I like them. Now, I am going to start off by saying that I enjoyed all these films. I really did. I really had a great time this year. I think this year has been one of the best year for superhero movies in general. The only superhero movie I didn't see, not because I didn't want to, I was curious about it, but it really looks like it's really for young toddlers. I'll check it out eventually, is Captain Underpants, the first epic adventure. I know this is a superhero movie, but yeah, I didn't check it out. So I also am excluding Split from this list because Split, even though it was a great film, I'm having trouble thinking, is it really a superhero movie? Because it seemed like a thriller in some ways. It's a supervillain movies in some ways as well. So because I thought it was a little too confusing if I should add it or not, I decided to keep it out of it. So this is only pertaining to these 8 movies that I'm going to list off right now. So let's get right into it. At number 8, I have Power Rangers. This was a movie that I was really looking forward to this year. And guess what? It met my expectations. I really loved it. So some of you are probably wondering, then David, why is it at the bottom of the list? Well, something had to be. And Power Rangers might not be a perfect film, but it is a really enjoyable film, and you really do grow attached to these characters because they are really enjoyable. And before all of you start knocking on it, just remember, Power Rangers got a higher rating than some of DC's movies right now. Not to knock on DC, because I love DC, the DCEU. But yeah, Power Rangers got a higher than a lot of them. A lot of Marvel and DC movies, either from Fox or whatever. Not the MCU. The MCU is too powerful to beat. But Power Rangers, yeah, I had a great time with it. I thought the new cast of Rangers was really great in their roles. I'm glad to see some of them moving on to bigger and better things like Dacre Montgomery going on to Stranger Things Season 2. Naomi Scott is going to be playing Princess Jasmine in the Aladdin remake from Disney. And then you got Ludi Lin, who played Zack, the Black Ranger, going to be in the Aquaman movie. So I think the cast is going to do really good for themselves. And if there isn't a Power Rangers 2, which I'll be very disappointed with if they don't, because I want my Green Ranger and my Lord Zed. I want them in a sequel. I'll be pretty disappointed, but I'm glad the cast is doing well. Number 7, I have the Lego Batman movie. This was such a fun trip at the movie theaters. If you guys love the Lego movie, you gotta check out the Lego Batman movie. This is a love letter to Batman fans everywhere. There are references to every incarnation of Batman, not just the live action stuff, but the animated stuff and the comic book stuff as well, obviously. So this is definitely a must-see for Batman fans. At number 6, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I heard lots of people didn't like this one, or not as good as the original. I think it's just as good as the original Guardians of the Galaxy. I had a blast with this movie. I thought the jokes hit really nicely. Maybe there were a few jokes that didn't hit as well as they should have, but for the most part, I really had a blast. And guess what? This is the first superhero movie to actually get me teared up by the end of it. That ending with the whole Yondu situation, I'm not going to spoil, makes me cry. Gets a tear going. I love it. I thought, that's it. This movie is really good just because it can get me to tear up. And it's so far Lego Batman also got me to tear up a little bit. So there you go. This is already, we're off to a great start. So don't get angry that Guardians is at number 2. Believe me, all of these are great films. At number 5, we got Justice League, the Justice League movie, which I just saw recently this weekend, which more people should be going out to support because, believe me, this is the DCEU movie you've been waiting for, but then I just remembered Wonder Woman was received really well. But believe me, this was a good follow-up to Wonder Woman. It might not have been as great as Wonder Woman. To me, it's not as great as Man of Steel either. I love Man of Steel, but this is a different pace. This is a different tone than Man of Steel. So if you didn't like Man of Steel, but you liked Wonder Woman, believe me, this is going to suit your needs. This was a really enjoyable, really fun film, something that people have been asking for since Man of Steel's dark, bleak tone, and Batman v Superman even taking it to the next step further by making it gloom and doom. This is more optimistic, more fun. The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg are great additions. You get to see the Superman that you've always been waiting for, or one you've been waiting for a while. A Superman that's more optimistic than the one we've been seeing for the last two films. So go out and check this movie out now. I really support it 100%. Go. At number 4, I have Spider-Man Homecoming. This is the Spider-Man movie we had some pretty good Spider-Man movies in the past. Spider-Man 2 is by far the best of the Sam Raimi and Andrew Garfield trilogy, Mark Webb, whatever. But Spider-Man Homecoming, melding it into the universe of the MCU, made it so much more grand. But even taking out that, this was just a really fun film. And Tom Holland, in my opinion, is the Spider-Man we've been waiting for. Tobey Maguire was alright. Andrew Garfield was a great actor. But Tom Holland is the Spider-Man that you read about when you were a kid. At number 3, I have Thor Ragnarok. This is a terrific movie, and I saw it twice already. I really loved it the second time, even more so than the first time. It's a really funny film. All the jokes land. I can't say really too much more other than it does change the fate of the MCU, or at least for Thor's world, a lot. And it really makes me more excited for Avengers Infinity War, at where they're going to take it next. Aside from a pretty okay villain with Cate Blanchett, Chris Hemsworth, they really utilize his comedic abilities and bring it to the next level with this movie. Thanks to the genius of Taika Waititi. I actually did see another film of his recently, The Hunt for the Wilder People, which if you like Thor Ragnarok, go on Netflix, check out that movie. The Hunt for the Wilder People is a really nice film. I really had a great time with it, and it has his comedic style to it. Maybe not as over the top as Thor was, because it's more of a fantasy, more of a grounded type of adventure. At number 2, I have Wonder Woman. This movie, just like Thor Ragnarok, the more I see this movie, I've seen Wonder Woman like maybe 4 or 5 times now by this point, maybe more. And the more I see it, the more I love it even more. This is another movie that got me a little teary-eyed. But you know a movie is really good when it's not just the action sequences that you like, it's also the character moments. And there are a lot of character moments that are really fun to watch in this movie, specifically with Steve Trevor and Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. Chris Pine and her have great chemistry together. Something that is rare in a superhero movie is to have the main hero and the love interest have great chemistry. There are a few superhero movies that actually make that work, and this is one of them. I really enjoy this movie a lot. The Amazons, seeing them in the beginning was really great. Then having Wonder Woman go off to war, that was a lot of fun. This is a really great movie to me. Even the third act, I really enjoy. I like the message that they really tried establishing in this movie. Did they succeed at it? For some people, maybe not. But for me, it did. And I really enjoyed it because of all of that. Finally, my number 1 superhero movie of the year is Logan. Logan is the most emotional journey that you can take this year. Just as I said with Wonder Woman, you know a superhero movie is good when it's not just about the action scenes, when you actually enjoy a lot of the character moments as well. And that's what Logan has. It's a really great character journey for Logan, the character that Hugh Jackman has been playing since 2000, when that first X-Men movie came out and changed the game of superhero movies by making them more grounded and realistic. And now we get the most realistic superhero movie. Well, take out the claws and the mutant powers, and it's the most realistic story of any superhero movie, maybe rivaling The Dark Knight as one of the greats. I really love this movie, and it is a great send-off to Hugh Jackman. If you have not seen Logan yet, go in and watch it. Believe me, you will not be disappointed. If you were, okay, that's fine. I guess you want more brainless superhero movies. Not to say that the movies on my list are brainless, just that this is definitely a movie that's takes its time telling this emotional story and bringing Hugh Jackman's Logan on a trip that is kind of a father-daughter trip in a way, and a family trip in some ways, because you also have Professor Xavier being the father figure to Logan in some ways. So it's a great road trip movie. It's a great emotional film. It's a great ending to an actor that has dedicated 17 years to this role. And his performance in this film is phenomenal. All the performances in this movie is phenomenal. So with that being said, I hope you guys like my ranking of these superhero movies of 2017. Tell me how you would rank these films on your own list. Don't get angry at me because my list doesn't line up with yours. Just tell me what your list would be, you know? We can all have a civilized conversation, respect one another, and, you know, that's what being fans are. Don't, let the hate grow. Keep the hate out of it, especially if you're a fan of superheroes. Superheroes teach about respect and helping others, not like putting down others, and that's what we should take from these superhero movies. Well, unless you're more of a Punisher fan, which I really enjoyed, but even he kind of had a heart. He knew to help the right people. So the superhero movies of this year, list them in the comment section below, and like this video, subscribe to my channel. Please help support me. The more support, the better. And until next time, everybody, take care.